Jeff Brunner here with the ABB HVACR application engineering team. In this video, I will review use of Ethernet IP on our ACH580, and in particular, I want to focus on use of an open source client on my laptop for basic control of the drive. And so you might ask yourself, when might this be useful? And in an application startup, for example, very often the VFD may be commissioned before the controls contractor is on site to start up the building controls. And in this scenario, since you're already there commissioning the drive, it's useful to have an option to pre-configure the drive with its intended network configuration and then confirm its operation without requiring the building controls to be operational. And then another common use case is when diagnosing problems with a building's control system. Often there's a question about whether the issue is on the primary controller side or in the drive. And this is another case where it's useful to be able to isolate the control system from the drive and then independently confirm the drive's network behavior. So these are a couple of examples where a laptop application for network control can be useful, and especially if it's free, which this open source client is. Here's a list of the topics that we'll cover in the remainder of this video. We'll begin with the location and installation of this open source client. And then next we will configure the FEIP card on the ACH580. So I've got a demo case here with the ACH580 and this Ethernet card installed. We'll follow up with configuration of the ACH580 for control over Ethernet IP. And then finally, we'll demonstrate the use of this Ethernet IP client to control the ACH580. So let's begin by navigating to the website for this Ethernet IP client. I do have a link in the description below, but if you'd just like to search for it, just enter EnIPExplorer, and it'll be this top hit. Click on it, and you'll now be at the SourceForge webpage for this. There's a lot of additional information here. If you're interested in reading it, that's great. Otherwise, just click the download button, and you'll get a message over here indicating that the download will start shortly. And then finally, the download will complete. We can launch this. You'll get this message, say run anyway, begin the installation, and then accept the terms of the agreement, proceed, install, and the installation is complete. As I finish, it will launch it here, and this will pop up, so it's ready for us to use in our final step. But before we do that, we are going to go configure the Ethernet IP card on the ACH580. For configuration of the Ethernet IP card on the ACH580, we are going to use this Drive Composer application of ABB's. It's a great tool for doing drive configuration because it brings up all the parameters into a nice screen that can be easily set up then. And okay, so I've got my demo case here with the ACH580 and the Ethernet IP card installed. The drive itself has been detected, so we can click on this, select parameters, and here the entire list of parameters comes up. And then we will scroll down to group 50. And the first thing we need to do is enable the field bus adapter. So we'll set this to enable, and this will now activate the module that's attached, which is the Ethernet IP module. So we're done with group 50. Group 51 is where the protocol specific items will now be set up. And here we see that the field bus adapter type has been properly detected as Ethernet IP. For the profile, we will select the ABB drives profile for this example. For the communication rate, we will let it auto detect. And for IP configuration, we will use static. Select static, and then we will enter an IP address that's compatible with the subnet that my laptop is currently configured to, and that will be 192.168.92.1. And now we need to set up the subnet mask and this CIDR notation. So the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, which is 24 in the CIDR notation. And then for the purposes of this example, we don't need to set up a gateway. And then the last step we need to do for this configuration, or for the configuration of any module, is in group 51, there's this 5127, which is where we refresh the parameters, and so any of the new settings that have been applied will become active after we trigger this. So 5127 set to configure, and now the new settings will be taken into use. And so now the Ethernet IP module has been completely configured, and we will switch now to setting up the ACH580 for control over Ethernet IP. And for that, I will use a different application. To set up the drive for control over Ethernet IP, I'm going to use a different app. And this is another program that's developed by ABB, and it's called, or we call it, the panel duplicator. So this is a live connection to the drive, and it becomes something that will run on your desktop, but this is connected to a drive which is powered up, and so this is just as if I was working with the panel in my hand. And so here we will first go to the menu soft key, and we will select primary settings. Under primary settings, we will scroll down to the start, stop, and reference option. And in here, we can select the primary auto control location. Now we want to use Ethernet IP. So we will say, let's start with the reference. The reference default is from the analog input 1. And this we want to change to not the embedded field bus, but to the field bus. This means the field bus adapter, in this case, the Ethernet IP module. We'll select this. And then we will also select where we want the start stop to come from. The default value is DI1. And here again, we will switch this to field bus. And here the first thing you'll notice is that once we turn over control to the field bus channel, we get this warning. And this is a really common thing that will happen anytime we're using a communication protocol that uses ABB drives profile. And I'll get to how we can clear this once we launch the client. But the crux of what the issue is that now we've enabled this ABB drives profile for control, and the state machine hasn't been initialized because we have not had any communication with the client. So that's normal for this warning to appear, and now we will next launch our Ethernet IP client, and we'll begin an interactive session, and we will get this warning to clear. So here I've started a session of this Ethernet IP client alongside the panel duplicator, and we see that the drive is still in the prior state with this emergency off warning. So the first thing we'll need to do is make a connection between the client and the Ethernet IP card. And so on the client, we will select from the functions pull down the option to open an interface. And here, the Ethernet ID or the Ethernet port of my laptop is visible. And so this is what we're going to use to make the connection. So we'll select this. And we see now that the connection to the Ethernet IP card has been made. And so here we see the IP address of the Ethernet IP card we set up previously. And so we will select it. And here's the list of different features that are supported by the card. And for the purposes of just doing this basic control of the drive over the Ethernet IP, what we'll focus on is the assemblies. We need to set up some assembly instances to do the control and see the status of the drive. And so here I will refer to the Ethernet IP manual. And in here is a list of all of the input and output assemblies that the card supports. And we know previously that we selected the ABB drives profile. And so I've already focused on the assembly instances that we're going to use. And we're just going to use the most basic ones, which for just doing basic control and basic status. So here we see the input assembly or the output assembly for control is instance 1. And we just see the control word and the reference. And then for the output assembly or the input assembly, we see the status word and the actual speed. So these are the two assembly instances that we want to use. So we will enter these then in the client. And so here we will right mouse click on this and we will say add instance. And so we know that one of the instances we wanted to add was 1. This is for the output assembly. The second one was 51. That's for the input assembly. And so now these have both been added. And so now we can begin to interact with the drive over Ethernet IP. So we'll start with the output assembly. And we see here that it's all zeros right now. And that's the reason that this warning is showing up, because as I had mentioned previously, nothing has been initialized yet. And so we need to first initialize the control word, and then we'll be able to get this warning to go away. And so in the ABB drives profile, there's an initialization value that needs to be sent. And this isn't going to be an in-depth deep dive into the ABB drives profile. We have a lot of other content, but the basic initialization value in hex is 47E, which is 1150 decimal, but this client wants it in hex. So if we enter a value of 47E, so 04 in the most significant byte, 7E in the least significant byte, and this warning should clear, and it does. So now we've entered a proper initialization value, and so this warning will go away. And so the next step to start, you start with the initialization of 47E, and then we'll go to 47F, and that will start the drive. But before we do that, let's set a reference. And so the next 2 bytes here are where we set the reference. And in the ABB drives profile, the reference is set in the range of 0 to 20,000, with 20,000 being 60 hertz. So let's set a reference for 30 hertz, which would be 10,000, but we need to enter that in hex. So we'll pull up our programming calculator in the programmer mode, and we will enter a value of 10,000 decimal, and we see the hex value for that is 2710. And so now we can enter those 2 bytes, beginning with 27 as the most significant byte, and then 10. And we see over here on the panel now that our reference is set to 30 hertz. And so the next step we need to take to start the drive is just advance this from 47E to 47F, which means we just need to set the lower byte. And we see now that the drive has started, and we will ramp up to the set point of 30 hertz. And if we look at the input assembly, we can see here that the speed is ramping up and should stop at 2710. So again, this is coming back in the range of 0 to 20,000. So 2710 is the current operating speed, which is equivalent to 30 hertz. We see now that the drive has ramped up to the set point. And this is the status word, most significant byte, least significant byte. And so now if we stop the drive, we just enter a value of 47E. And now we can see that the drive is stopping. You can see on the keypad that it's stopping. We can also look at our input assembly. So over the communication, it's also dropping back to 0. And so that is how you just do the basic start, stop, and reference set point over Ethernet IP. And then you'll see that if I, for example, were to reset this back to 0, that warning is going to come back because now we have cleared the state machine and we're back in the original state. So that wraps up this video on how to control the ACH580 over Ethernet IP. To recap what we went over, we first located and installed the open source client, this EnIPExplorer. Then we next configured the Ethernet IP card on the ACH580, and then configured the ACH580 to allow for control over Ethernet IP. And then finally, we went through a session showing how the control and status is done over Ethernet IP. If you have any questions about this content, please reach out to your local ABB Drives rep or drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.